Hello everyone and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel, or if you're watching this video and it's your first one on the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel, welcome. And I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, depending on what day of the week and what video you're watching. Now this one for OMSI 2, we're back once again in the simulator. Is going to be a rather short run, quicker video kind of thing. I sort of have a spare 20 minutes, so I thought to do a little circular on Scunthorpe in the form of the 9 route that I don't tend to drive because everybody tends to drive it. It's quite a short run. However, I haven't done the route in a while. It's a nice little route to go around, and we have a lovely bus in front of us in the form of V3Ds, currently still in sort of beta release, Volvo Olympian Northern Counties Palatine. So the registration does not correspond with the livery. I didn't have time to research the correct registration, but the idea behind it is quite a lot of the Wilts and Dorset Olympians did end up with independent operators. I remember the odd one or two that ended up with York Pullman. There's a few others that ended up similarly with other operators, and from time to time would end up on contract work. They're predominantly there for schools, but would end up on contract in the form of the York Pullman ones that end up doing the University Open Day shuttles. So what we're trying to do is we're going to imagine in some sort of form that Hornsby's purchased one of these Olympians, or potentially purchased one quite recently. They're short of vehicles, and yes, if we ignore the PSVAR regulations, let's just ignore that they exist at the moment. And we're sort of thinking that they've purchased the vehicle recently. They're short of buses. They haven't had time to debrand it, or they purchased it a few years ago, and we're going back in time a few years when these had just come off. They didn't have time to debrand it, and they need a spare bus for the number 9. So that's what we're covering. Albeit in real life, I think a hospital circular service, I don't think a step entrance bus will be your first choice. So there we go, so let's get this bus all set up. We are actually a few minutes late, so we are going to pretty much crack straight on. When I say a few minutes late, I mean I took over this bus. We're running about 8 minutes late. You know, when you do something, you just think it was a rather daft idea. It's me with this. Yeah, the steering lock is nowhere near where it needs to be on this bus to do this turn. So I put the route arrows on because, yes, the 9 is a basic route, but it has been a while since I've covered it. So I don't quite remember how much of it I know, or I don't know how much of it I remember, depending on which way you want to do it. I'm a little bit tired today. Been doing a lot of work, a lot of trekking up and down the country, a bit of Verizon, bits and bobs. It's quite a busy time of year. Come on, golf, you can go a bit quicker than this. Oh, my neck, man. There's nothing coming. There we go. So yeah, it is quite a busy time for me. I always find it is busy. I mean, we've got the Halifax bus day coming up. There we go. So the Halifax Heritage Bus Day 2023 is upon us. That's basically where I organise it, a bus running day, and do my bit for the bus preservation world, and do a heritage bus running day. We're going to have just over 15 buses this year. I think the number that we're hopefully going for is about 16 buses, 16, 17 buses, running a network of 3 bus services around Halifax, around the local area, as well as services further afield as well, to the Pennines and even as far as Oldham this year to celebrate 100 years of North Western. The formation of it 100 years ago this year. So there's been a few celebrations for the 100 years of North Western. I mean, that's my way of celebrating it, is extending our X12 service all the way through from Denshaw to Oldham, just as a little bit of something a little bit unique for this year. And it will most likely be a this year only thing. So if it is something that you want to sample, you want to go on a heritage bus from Halifax to Oldham, then it's a 1 year only thing. So I'd recommend doing it. Genuinely thought the car was going to move. Didn't think it'd just slam all on and sit there. So it's something that's a really, really good day. I mean, obviously, when you organise anything like that, it does take a lot out of you. That's why you may find in some of these OMSI videos I'm not particularly as bubbly as usual, because it takes a fair bit to recover. So I've got that going on, a few other bits and bobs, something exciting that I've been working on that you'll find out, roughly speaking, about Christmas time about, that's very exciting, amongst quite a few other bits and bobs that I'm doing. It's a very, very busy time at the moment, actually. Very busy time. So it's one of these where, because when I get to film these videos, I get to just be pretty much talking to you lot. In a sort of buffered manner, because it's not like a fluid dialogue interaction. It's just me basically splurging out what you would write in a diary. You don't quite realise sometimes how much you've actually got going on until you start talking about it, and then it's just like, that's probably why I'm tired. So yeah, there's a few exciting stuff, a few bits I can't talk about on camera yet. You'll see a fair wad on the Amwell Central channel over the next few months. I was hoping to make some adverts for the Halifax Bus Day for the Amwell Central channel, and I just have not had time, because I've been sorting out, as you do, sorting out your staffing, your duties, vehicle entries. As you do, so it's been quite intense. It's taken quite a lot out of me. I've been doing other bits and bobs that have allowed me to travel around the country, so that's been quite cool. So we've got some nice and more central videos coming out from a bit more around the country, that's very exciting, and I do love a good exploring around the country video. So yeah, there is a fair one to look forward to. I mean, the biggest thing I'd say that's been taken out of me at the moment with organising the bus event is sorting out the duties with the vehicles. Something that most people won't tell you when organising an event. There's a really nice, when you go down here in real life, there's a very nice Wetherspoons on the left. Very, very nice Wetherspoons. Satan's Scunthorpe, it's a very, very nice Wetherspoons. Very nice Wetherspoons. You want to jump off it? Don't quite waiting. There you go. But yeah, something that won't tell you is it's one thing getting the vehicles in and booked in, and it's a second thing getting the confirmation. It's so easy for people to say, oh yes, I'll bring a bus, and then something happened to the bus or something happened to them, and then sometimes forget about it if you're not careful. It's a very, very fluid. You've got to have a constant dialogue going, a constant conversation, because it's so easy. So easy to just simply forget, as some vehicle owners, especially when they run businesses, because you don't understand with some people sometimes they run businesses, they're travelling around the world, or they've got intense meetings to organise, or something happens with the vehicle. So it's something that most places won't tell you. But if you ever wonder why a vehicle entry list changes on the day, or like if it's being announced well in advance, or you find that people like myself are quite reluctant to release the vehicle entry list till a few weeks before, that's what I'm doing. That's why. It's purely because they want to make sure that the vehicles that they're saying are coming along, A, because people rock up for those vehicles, and B, if there's an issue with a vehicle, you don't want to make the vehicle owner feel bad, especially if the issue with the vehicle isn't their fault. Because then all they'll get is messages from people going, well, why wasn't your bus here? So it's such a finite soup to perfect, to sort of get it to work and to make sure everybody's happy, and obviously to make sure that the buses show up. So if you do ever wonder why vehicle entry lists are quite last minute, or if they're in advance they end up changing, that's why, because it's all buses. In this society that we live in, people are very busy, and it's that mix, unfortunately, whether you like it or not. So I believe if I do that, a bit more. If I do that, there we go, that'll do. We'll take these off. We will take a nice screenshot. I always forget which ones of these have what on them. And we'll take a nice screenshot of this bus in the bus station, because in fairness, that looks quite nice. And what I'll then do is we'll park the vehicle up, and then the engine doesn't go off on this one, so I'll just... Yeah, the engine doesn't go off. But yes, that was the 9 service, a nice circular. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It is a short one, but just a nice little jolly round the 9, and plenty of time to do it. We're set off a few minutes late, and we got back a minute too early, so it's an easy run, pretty basic, but a nice ride of the Olympian, and hopefully a nice little bit of promotion for the Halifax Bus Day. You can find the Halifax Heritage Bus Day on Facebook, so do go and check out our Facebook page for more information about the event. I will post the vehicle entries up whilst this video is out, actually. I'm going to start doing the vehicle entries. So do keep an eye on it, and there's going to be quite a few exciting entries and things coming up on there. So if you are in the local area, fancy a trip up, it's certainly going to be worth a visit. So yes, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, then do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 5,000 backseats and engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. Once again, I would like to thank you all for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.